He fired me for no reason, then begged me to come back. He fired me, no warning, no explanation. One day I was working hard, the next I was packing my desk. But months later, he came crawling back. This is the story of how getting fired became the best thing that ever happened to me and how karma came full circle. This isn't just a story about getting fired. It's about betrayal, about being thrown away by someone who never valued your work, and then watching them realize, too late, just how much they needed you. So if you've ever been let go, unfairly blamed, or made to feel replaceable, you're going to want to hear this. 1. The job I gave my life to. I started working at this company 2 years ago. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. I showed up early, stayed late, took on extra responsibilities without being asked, and I actually cared, which is rare nowadays. I believed in the vision. I thought, if I keep my head down, work hard, and stay loyal, it'll all pay off. Spoiler alert, it didn't, not the way I expected. 2. The weird shift in energy. Things started changing about 6 months before I was fired. New management came in. Let's call him Brad. Brad was the type of boss who liked control. He didn't like when people had independent ideas. He liked yes men, and I wasn't one of them. At first it was subtle. I was taken off email chains. He started assigning my tasks to less qualified people. He began questioning my work in front of others. I was excluded from meetings I had always been a part of. It was like watching someone slowly erase you while you were still there. 3. The day I got fired. It was a Friday afternoon. Classic timing. I got an email. Quick meeting. I walked in. Brad was sitting there with HR. He said, "We've decided to part ways. It's not performance related. We're just moving in a different direction." No warning, no conversation, no appreciation for 2 years of work. Just goodbye. I remember walking out, holding a box of my stuff, feeling numb. I didn't even cry until I got in the car, and then I cried like hell. 4. The silence and the healing. At first, I felt like a failure. I questioned everything. Was I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? How can I explain this to my friends, my family? But after a few weeks, something strange happened. I started to feel free. I slept in. I read books. I reconnected with hobbies, writing, photography, gaming. I updated my resume, worked on my portfolio, and even started freelancing. And you know what? I found myself again. 5. The glow up, my comeback. Within 3 months, I landed a freelance client, then another, then another. Eventually, I was making more than I was at the job I got fired from. And I was doing work I actually liked with people who respected me. I posted one of my big client wins on LinkedIn, just casually. Nothing braggy, but guess who saw it? Yup, Brad. 6. The message that changed everything. A week later, I got an email. Subject line, "Would love to catch up." It was from Brad, the same guy who told me I wasn't the right fit. Now, he wanted to talk. I ignored it for a day, then 2. Then I replied with, "Sure. What's up?" He responded, "Things have been tough without you. The team is behind. Clients are unhappy. Any chance you'd be open to coming back in a senior role?" Wait, what? I read it again. He wanted me back, and in a higher position. The same guy who tossed me out like garbage was now asking for my help. Not just that, begging. 7. Sweet, sweet payback, without saying a word. I didn't yell. I didn't rub it in. I didn't even say no directly. I just replied, "Appreciate the offer, but I've moved on to something that aligns more with my values. Wishing you and the team the best." That was it. No drama, no second chances, no revenge needed, because the truth was, I already won. 8. What getting fired taught me. Here's what I've learned. You're not as replaceable as they make you feel. Getting fired isn't always a failure. Sometimes it's a redirection. Never tie your worth to a job title. Document your wins. Build your brand. One day they'll realize what they lost, and by then, it'll be too late. Sometimes the universe removes people from your life for a reason. Sometimes getting thrown out is the first step to leveling up. He fired me to make space for someone weaker, but I became someone stronger. And when he finally realized what I was worth, I had already learned to value myself. So if you've ever been fired, rejected, or thrown aside, remember you didn't lose. You just got pushed towards something better. Like this video if you've ever been underestimated. Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you bounce back. Subscribe if you believe in quiet revenge and loud growth, because when you focus on building yourself, they always come back.